Hello, guys. It's another Free Friday class, and you're watching me, Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, for the awesome 10X deep dives for every Friday. So today's topic is very simple. It's a story about selling. So it's December 4th, 2020, one of the first Fridays of the month. Let's begin. Okay, so if your objective is to sound smart, tell them what they want to hear, which is, Nikki, what do I have to buy? Blah, 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 blah. And that's what people want to hear. However, brutal honesty is preferred rather than hypocritical politeness. So I have to say that this December, yes, I think like a lot of people are still asking me, Nikki, what should I buy? It doesn't mean that you cannot buy anything. Of course, we could. However, I have to be brutally honest that the level of risk that is already in the market is kind of pretty high. And if you need to see how to win, of course, you need to see how the market is today. And I'm thinking, am I a genius or is this market just super generous? So I do believe that right now, most of the market participants are quite in the money. And you could see that even the people who just entered last month, let's say October 30, in case you missed it, many companies I chose that day, that was a free Friday class. I made buying opportunities this October 30, 2020, free Friday class. October 30, 2020, you could see that these 25 names, most of them have either doubled, tripled, or quadrupled. So I'm only going to explain to you first these companies that I listed for free during October 30, 2020. So can you imagine that was just a month ago and you're already hitting monthly gains of 100%. So I'll go to the finviz.com just to easily give you some of those exact picks, no? So last October 30, we mentioned that you could be buying these names: Microgrid, CLSK. Okay, so let's take a look on that. Actually, it's easier to do some of the picks in TradingView. However, it's okay. So watch this. CLSK was given a buy at 750. Right now it's trading at 1085. You're still up about 40%. Okay, so that's a check. Polish game, CD Projekt, CRJ, and Bluebird, 350, 966, and 144. I'm going to show you the charts of those three names. So far, among those three names, CD Projekt is now 425 or up 20%. Bluebird is now trading at 178 or up 20%. Only Creepy Jar didn't move. That would be down 5%. Swedish Games, Tobii, 44. We gave a buy. Today it's trading at about 57 SEK. That is Swedish kroners. I'm going to share to you all the charts. So I'm just going to share to you that on a 25 stock pick, usually the Awesome 10X recommendations will be 90% correct. So 10% of them will be wrong. And we actually accept those statistics because if you buy everything, you'd still be up. And that's really how we promote our system. Diversification and very good companies. So you could see that from the chart itself, so we made a buy call at 350. That would be here, October 30. Actually, during October 30, you were able to buy it even as low as 340. But let's say you just bought it 350. Right now, it's 431. It could actually go to 450 and 440. However, so as you could see, we are correct. But what should you do today? I think that you should be probably trimming at about 450. So how about Creepy Jar? So Creepy Jar is CRJ. This one hasn't done yet anything. So we tried to buy it about 966. Right now, it's still at 934, so just unchanged. Down a little bit. Bluebird was correct. You can see that Bluebird was recommended to be bought at about 144 Polish zloty then. Right now, it's 190. So it's actually above more than 140 to 190. You're up 50 or about 30%. So far, correct. What else? Tobii, Funko, Disney, and QSR. So let's take a look at all of them. Tobii, 44, is now trading at 57. 56. So still more than 30% up. We made a buy call at about 44 here. So the other one, Disney, 119 was our buy call. Right now, Disney is trading at 253. All-time highs, nearing all-time highs. So this one is probably going to go all-time high on the reopening. However, in my view, 120 to 150, $30 up. That would be about 30% up already for a Disney. These are quite generous price movements. So 27% so far for Disney, and that is a large cap. Funko, let's take a look. We gave a buy call at $6.50. Right now, we still think that this one can be held, but you could see that 650 is 850 or $2 up, 20%, not that high yet. So we're gonna wait it out. So Disney, Funko, QSR was a buy at 53. Right now, trading at 58, just 10%. So this one is not yet extended. Maybe it can go to 66, but also correct. What else? So Cannabis, we said Hexo and Grow Generation. At that point in time, Hexo was 72 cents. Grow Generation was trading at 17.18. So take a look at Hexo today. Hexo right now is trading at 1.17. So that was 70 cents. This is already 117. It even reached as high as 130 or nearing 100% in just a month. So that is quite extended in my view. So people can actually take profits on Hexo. Grow Generation was recommended a buy last month, October 30, at about 17.18. You could see that happening here, October 30, around 17.80 or 17.5 or 18. Right now it's trading at 35, or you're still a bona fide 100% up. So you could see that Hexo and Grow Generation are up nearing close to 100%. That's why they are ripe for some selling. Fuel Cell, BE, Bloom Energy, and F-Cell. Take a look what happened on those buy calls. F-Cell is at $8 today. From $2 here, it rallied to as high as $10. Assuming you even sold at $7.50, you're still up more than 300%. And that was just a month. BE, Bloom Energy. So we have a buy at 14. Take note that it's 24 today. It was even 28 or nearing 100% again. So another 100% move. In just actually 25 names, we have at least 6, 7, 100% in just a month. CDNs, we said Fastly 68 and Limelight at 3.7 as a buy. Were we correct? Take note what happened. Limelight was even one of our weakest picks. From 370 to 419, it even rallied to as high as 450, 460. That was still a 10% up. Fastly is now trading at $80. So you could see that from 68 buying at 82, that's up nearing $14 or 20% up. Okay, so what else? We said that Nokia 3.3 was a 5G related play. Tattooed Chef is wrong. 17.5 is now trading at about $15 to $16. ChargePoint was a buy here at $13.50. Take note that ChargePoint today is trading at $33. So take a look at all of them. SBE is now trading at $32 or almost 200%. We were recommending a buy here. That was really just October 30 here. So can you imagine that was October 30, you were buying it at about $13.50 and $12, $14, and now it's already trading at $33. So it was even $40 a couple of days ago. I do think there's some froth. That's why we're going to put some sell arrows now. Nokia 3.3 is now one of our weakest actually, but it's now trading at $4. So that is still about 20-30% up. 330 plus 70 cents, yeah, 20+% up. SPACs, TTCF is our mistake. Velodyne Lidar 13 is 15, still up 10%. Jimmy Chai 10.2 is now Laser. Laser is now trading as high as $25. So it was even going higher in the pre-market and after-market hours. Now it's $26. So that was like 10, it's now 26. It's double, more than double your money. OAC 10.2 is now trading at 11.5. Sorry, it's still 1080. So it still can be bought. So it's not yet up. It rallied before. It hasn't rallied yet. We've been buying October 30 here, 10.2. It's still up 6%. I think that's going to go higher. So that one can be kept. Knobs 11 was a buy reco. Knobs is now trading at 14. If I am correct, it's 13.60. So if this one goes $20, another 100% move for Awesome 10X. That's 30% up right now. TRNE, $10.30 was the reco buy. Desktop Metal right now is trading at 12. Okay, it's already trading at $14. So 40% up. We were buying somewhere here at about October 30. So here, $10.26. What else? We were buying FIAC. That would be Flying Eagle, also known as Skills. Novs Look. That was about $11 for each of them. Take note at all the prices now. It's $17 for FIAC. So about 60% up. Novs is now trading at $13. 13.62. And Look is also trading at about $13. See? So guys, within just a month, you have about, at the very least, a 50% to 100% move in just following us on 10X. And this was free, just given as a free Friday class. I even gave some freebies during the Biden-Harris presidency on which solar companies and which companies to buy. I even recall saying about the XPeng. I'm gonna share to you that. Biden-Harris, what any autism 10X investor should do after a Biden-Harris presidency. That was given November 6th. That was just last month ago. And I gave like a free Friday class pick on this as well. So if you'll notice, these free Friday classes gave you at least 100 to 250% on those company ideas. Take note of these company ideas. Stocks to buy on November 6, 2020. Tattooed Chef, yes, I'm wrong there. Beyond Meat 157, 140 was given a buy, but actually during November 6, because Beyond Meat had a gap down on earnings, you weren't able to buy at 157. November 6 was actually this one, November 6. So let's say you bought at 157. This was our rare mistakes, but we had a buy at about 120. So even at 140, you're still unchanged. So we were wrong. I guess I'm not wrong, secular trend on Tattooed Chef and Beyond Meat, but so far in the short term, yes, we are wrong. Because November 6, we bought somewhere here at about 17, 18, 19. And right now it's trading at 16, 15. So those are the few rare mistakes. Copen 144, 130 was given a buy. Copen right now is trading at $2, 1.8. It even rallied to 2, but it's still, in my view, still not extended, so still gonna go higher. Take note at Vuzi. Let's take a look at Vuzi. Vuzi is now trading at about 4.3. We gave a buy on Vuzi at 4 and 360. Still up 430, so up slightly, 7-8%. Disney, yes, we're right. It's $150. Facebook, we were so bullish that even at 290 that we were willing to buy. That was about November 6. But right now, it's just unchanged. So you neither lose money, but you're just there. It's 281. So it's just 2 to 3% down. Just fine. Xiaopeng was 31 then. Right now, Xiaopeng is already trading at about 52. So this was November 6, 31, 32. We were buying. It's now 52. You're still up. It was even 72. You would have been double your money in just less than a few days. Of course, Hexo was also 100% up. Grow Generation, even if you bought it at November 6 at 20, it was still right now 35 or 75% up. Your Sunrun 56 was given a buy on November 6. Take note what happened with Sunrun. Sunrun rallied to about 70 nearby and then fell down. Right now, the price of Sunrun is back to 58. I think this one is a re-entry area, so that one is not extended. So just a pullback, a normal pullback for Sunrun. GWPH is GW Pharma. This one went to $140, and we know that 140 is a short-term resistance. However, you could see that is a 30% rise. Yes, that was just a 2-week move. CD Project, correct. It's now 440. We think it goes 450. Bluebird, correct. Gravity is also correct. Gravity is now trading at 180, guys. Take note what happened with Gravity. We made a buy call November 6. That was here. A free buy call at about 134 to 122. That was these levels. And right now it's trading at 180. So you're up about $50 or up about 30, 40%. VLDR was given a buy at 15. Today it's still at 15. You're unchanged. FUV was a monster. RC Moto went from $6 that time. Today, it's still trading at 12, 13. That's double your money. That was November 6 here. We were opining to buy 598 and 6. It rallied to as high as $20. Made a profit taking, but still at $12, that is a 100% move. Okay, we also said SBE, correct? This went to 32. Clean Spark is now $10.50. Passy was 70 then. We had the buy slightly for Unity and Palantir at 111, but actually during November 6, you couldn't buy it anymore at that price because Unity we really just went up all the way. November 6, we were trying to buy. The price was around, if you notice, November 6 was this. Oh yeah, you would have gotten done. November 6 was here. So if you just made a bid, yes, on November 10, you'd have been filled at 100. So you still made 50% on Unity. And take note on Palantir, we were still recommending to buy at 11 around November 6. That was here, November 6, yes. So it was still 11 and 12, and it's 24. So actually, guys, you'll notice that within a month, all of these were making us look like geniuses. So I understand that we are good. but we are becoming too much good. That's too genius, too super generous. And take note at how many awesome testimonials we have been sharing in our Twitter page. That was like just clients, today's awesome 10x testimonial comes from someone who has echoed his favorite teaching from me, which is it doesn't matter where you come from, it matters where you're going. Yes, from $36,000, he showed a report that he's now $54,000 or up 48%. What's notable about this journey, guys, is that it's 50% up in a single month. So although that was 3 months in the making, August 27 to $54,000, what you'll notice from his portfolio is that in the first 2 months, he was just really just okay. He'll go up 10%, but he'll also lose 10% and it's unchanged. But in 1 month, he made about 50%. Yes, I'm happy that this client nonetheless learned from us in the Awesome 10X. And then, of course, he was saying, I could attest how wonderful the system is. It doesn't sound like much to others, but I know some classmates are making 100% already. I'm just happy to share my portfolio. Of course, those gains came from Xiaopeng Motors, Palantir, Laser, also known as GMHI, Gores Metropolis, ChargePoint, Arcimoto, too many to mention. And then we have some classmates sharing their own portfolios. Could see people sharing Unity, Bloom Energy, Canadian Solar, Gores Metropolis, even before it went 100 to 200% up. For Solar, Lordstown Motors, Qualcomm, C Limited, Pintuatua, Copen, Dada Nexus. So many 200% and 100%. All of these are happening just within a month, guys. And even this is not to say that this student is bad, but actually this student is one of my disobedient students who kept on reiterating all her own ideas, didn't want to listen to Awesome 10X until finally she just relented. Her $15,000 is now $19,000, which is up about 30% in a month. And when I was taking a look, she was asking me, did she do fine? And I took a look at her portfolio. She followed the Grow Generation, so that's up 100%. She was late in the Nordstrom buy. We gave a buy on Nordstrom at $19, but she was still up 10% there. For Coca-Cola, yes, we gave it as a reopening pick. I know it's a bit slow, but yeah, still up. Copen, I'm glad that she followed, 155 to 182. Laser, I'm glad she followed, up 100%. Luna was a recent recommendation. Yes, okay, that's fine. CrowdStrike is up after earnings. You've got Delta Airlines also up about 5%, even if we're late entry, because we gave a buy on Delta Airlines at 38. Yotao steady. This one is Disney. So even a late entry on Disney still managed to go more than 10%. Exobionics is just fine, normal only. This one is, I think this one is Facebook, so just unchanged. This is, what's this? Fitbit, okay, that's okay. Funko is just fine, just there, 850. Roku was great this month, actually another 100% given the reopening. This was actually a late entry already if you think about it, but still 100%. Sunrun, still possible and still made money there. ChargePoint, agree, that was 100% move. C Limited, even a late entry, still 20%. Shake Shack, still reopening. This is Scott Miracle Grow, still positive. Even a late entry on Spotify, up. Target, still up. Yes, those were e-commerce ideas that we gave. Even a late entry on Win, because I gave an entry on Win Casinos at about $94. Still made 8%. Xiaopeng, this was a late entry, but still not so bad. It's just unchanged anyway. Yatsen Global, still an entry recently and still unchanged. Take note at some wins. Yeah, so Tilray, yes, even an entry on Cannabis just recently in the month. We have been opining during the Biden-Harris presidency that clients could make some money on Cannabis. This client followed some, yes, correct, made money. VNet was also a play on data centers, wearables, SaaS names like Workday, even the Walmarts and Slack, and then Win. This was following the rumor that Slack was going to be bought out by CRM. You could see that, and of course, it's very diversified. As you see, we've got some new ideas like Roche. Rocket Loan hasn't rallied yet. Our newest, our energy names are just there. This was quite a follow-up on Macy's, which was made a buy at about 7. You'll notice that even if, what you'll notice is that even if some of her buy ideas are already late, she's still making quite some good money. Of course, these were more better entries like GameStop. At least she followed. This was, I think, a Free Friday class pick a few months ago. So like, I think 2 months ago. But Palantir, I'm happy that she was able to follow 11 to 24. So guys, Gravity, she was able to follow even if this was just last month ago. Yeah, so November only. So you'll notice that if you really take a look at her portfolio, which I was like analyzing, a lot of our clients' portfolios are making like substantially super duper big gains. Now I understand that I'm happy to say that Awesome 10X is a good, people say that I choose good names. That's why we're getting 100, 200%. I agree with that. But I don't think I am too much of a genius. So I mean, I'm good, but I'm not too good, right? I think the market is too generous. So making 50% in a month, some of our clients making 100% in a month, um, those seem to be generous. Take note that Hexo, we were getting in a day, like in December, Goris Metropolis like went $20 and we were happy. Today, Goris Metropolis is now $29, aka Laser. Flying Eagle is now $17. Copen went $22. It even went 2.2 after pre-market hours. And Hexo even went 120, 130, 140. And so I get a lot of questions. Like guys were asking, I get a lot of direct messages like, should I be selling now? I'm like 30%. I'm so happy. I need like $15,000, $20,000. I can't imagine how much money I've made. Okay, so that's the kind of reaction that I'm getting from a lot of clients. And to me, this is my answer. Preparation is better than prediction. The main problem of most traders and investors is that we are often in a reactionary mode rather than in an anticipatory mode. Instead of asking what should investors do now, it should have been, what should investors be doing in the past to prepare for an event like today? So take note, for the last couple of months, we have already been buying these companies and agree, right now we are reaping the profits, we are reaping the harvest. But the bottom line is that investing is a proactive and not reactive endeavor. If you will respond to every news story, each turn of the wheel, you will become whipsawed. And that was what Barry Ritholtz said. And just like Ritholtz, I really believe that many people can be capable of doing this for themselves. Prepare for days like euphoria, prepare also for days like doomsday. Right now, December, it's like Christmas rally all day long, Santa Claus rally. I don't know what type of rally you want to say about this market. But right now, I'm really more of doing and I really think that you don't need to necessarily pay anyone a flat fee or a fat fee for that. You don't need somebody to tell you to sell if you want to sell. All it requires is a little intelligence, some homework, and a little bit of planning. Take note what happened. Like I know that Laser Luminar IPO, like some people were buying a wrong Luminar up 3,000%. So like we were saying, this is not Laser. Laser is Laser, like Goris Metropolis. So the fact that people are a little bit stupid these days, some people say, you know what I always say, it's expensive to be stupid. These types of buying methodologies of some people are kind of weird. I remember when Zoom video, we were buying Zoom video, ZM, but the people who were wrongly buying the ZOOM were up more. So like I was saying, that shouldn't happen because you should be buying Zoom video, not the wrong ticker symbol Zoom. So eventually, of course, that wrong Zoom went down. But you know how it is? Like, it's true that we bought Goris Metropolis for Luminar founder Austin Russell, GMHI, and many reasons. Of course, that was the LiDAR. People are saying, I think it's up for ever hold. Yes, but after like a 300% move, I also believe in the following. Because John Lehrer said, why being relaxed make us spend too much money? When we feel safe, we actually act most recklessly. What we're most likely to think about is the potential rewards of the game. And we ignore the fact that we just lost hundreds of dollars. Relaxation is the opposite of vigilance, and vigilant people do not play the slots. Right now, I think that people are so relaxed, making 100%, 200% easily, that I want to say that this is actually the Bellagio phenomenon. So for those who don't know the Bellagio phenomenon, the Bellagio is actually the first modern casino to get it right. That was in Macau, Bellagio. But I'm not sure if that was in Macau, but also the Bellagio in Las Vegas. So they emphasized actually the importance of relaxation. They treated the casino as an extension of a hotel lobby, not as a place to suffer through on the way to the lobby. It actually helped influence gamblers to take bigger risks. So most of the people, they made them relax. They probably gave them relaxation music. So these gamblers ended up treating the casino more like a relaxation place. And because they were feeling so comfortable, they were in a relaxed environment, nice music, jazz music, these people were willing to take irrational risks. And they were placing losing bets on games of chance. Feeling relaxed increased the willingness of these subjects to bid on very risky activities, such as even a bungee jumping session. You know, in Macau, there is actually a bungee jumping session there. I'm not saying that bungee jumping is a risky endeavor, but the fact that you have a bungee jumping session beside a casino tells you that it is telling people that, hey, let's have our bachelor's party in Macau and also take a bungee jumping session. I mean, I don't know what these people are thinking, but you could understand that these people are a little bit reckless. Take note that I have not done that. I have not done any bungee jumping session, so I could be wrong. I could have like some wrong opinions in my view. Yeah, I could be wrong, but to me, in a way, when people are so relaxed, they could be just willing to do a lot of different things that they normally wouldn't do. So I would like to say a very, very harsh word, which is it's not a time to place aggressive bets. Do not be very complacent in chasing extended trades without necessarily placing tight stops. Usually, Awesome 10X tells people to just buy and sleep. And they don't really need to do anything because they just buy and sleep. However, right now, I'd have to say that because I watch the markets, I need to tell all the Awesome 10X members and also the non-Awesome 10X members out there that it seems as if, yes, there are great companies that aren't extended. So you'll notice that I said OAC isn't extended, Copen is not extended. Some companies like, okay, recently like Spotify, it's not extended, it just broke out, great numbers. So those are like those are the rare things. But how could you define that Xpeng Motors or ChargePoint or Palantir or Grow Generation or Hexo, like we are seeing a lot of like 200%, 300% up. Sometimes, you know I'm good, but I tell people I'm not that too good, right? So I'm a little bit hesitant about the markets these days. So today is a story about selling, and it's not about being right. I'm just like telling you that any Awesome 10X investor knows how to buy. We don't necessarily know how to sell. I mean, I can tell you my story that I sold this much and then eventually it went up and up and up. And that, I mean, even for Zoom video, I sold it at $240 only to have to buy it back at $360, right? And what about like if you sold all your charge point, right? Example, let's say SBE, even if you sell it at about current levels of $32, if you cannot buy it back at take note, okay? So switchback went from 42, fell down to 25. Imagine that, 25, rallied to 32. What happens tonight if it goes to 34? So in my view, like these companies are actually gonna go a little bit very much on the, it's just too good to be true sometimes, that I feel as if these are actually ripe for some selling action, even if I like this company fundamentally. Also, I want to share to you a few things about the reopening themes. So I'm gonna like do more of a charting session today rather than deep diving to you about companies. So I'm gonna share to you some awesome 10x picks this year. We'll do it sector by sector, guys. So let's start with the sector on electric vehicles. So this is voice assistance. All your electric vehicles have sirens inside. And so this one has gone from about $13 to as high as $95. And so far, I do think that if you have sirens, it isn't wrong if you have a post sell here at $90, even if it goes 99. So I think it opens 86 tonight, but you could still actually, you should be more on the lookout for selling. I'm gonna give you some. So today is more like a charting session. If you have questions, just put it on the chat so that I will also chart it for you. European stocks mostly higher. BioNTech weakens on vaccine supply. So recently, the market has truly rotated, even for the weakest names like your laggards, even on your reopening themes like airlines, etc. And to be honest, I'm happy that we are correct there. However, what should you do given that they're actually in the reversal mode? So there are many questions. Should we sell even the great names like Disney, Starbucks, and a lot of reopening themes? Because most of the reopening themes were also up 50, 70, 100% depending on entry point. So example, Disney. So actually, this is more subtle for me. I know that long term Disney should do well. And if you sell at 153, I have no assurance that Disney is gonna go down to 130. So this isn't yet in the. So I'm gonna teach you my methodology. You know that I have a methodology which is the DFA-GEI system. So I'm gonna share to everyone this DFA-GEI. What is it again? So some awesome 10X members know what DFA-GEI system is, but not all of you know. So I'm gonna like share to you that it's here in my Last Dance, lessons from the Last Dance, how to trade with confidence via the Last Dance. Yes, that was from the documentary by your Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and of course Dennis Rodman and so forth. So you could see that I think I put it here, the DFA-GEI system. Oh, sorry, I think it is in the one night stands. Let me find it for you. One night stands. Can one night stands turn into long-term relationships? Okay, guys. So for those who are new, you don't know that I actually, for those who are new, this is your first time. Note that I do daily Zoom classes for everyone, and that is in the Awesome 10X Inner Circle subscriber membership. Actually, during November 17, we opined that you can actually make money in some casual hookups. So we said that some one-night stands can really turn into a long-term relationship. And those are really about, and when I say one-night stands, it actually refers to the sectors like these. So we used to do one-night stands on Jumia because people were saying that Jumia was an African e-commerce fraud. Traditional banks, aren't these dinosaurs extinct? Retail apocalypse has a name, right? So that goes for your PVH, CPRI, and Tapestry. Airlines are going to take a long time to recover. That would be your Delta Airlines, your Expedia. Energy names are negative and bankrupt. That would be your Oceaneering, ExxonMobil, Chevron. Leisure toys are non-essential. Luckin Coffee is a delisting candidate. This can go to zero. Chinese names are a fraud. Digital advertising is on a decline. Cannabis ain't making money. So actually, these are companies that we've made a lot of money from. And we bought them very early on. So you could see July, we were already buying them. And actually, it's not just July. We've been buying these bad stocks, quote unquote bad stocks, because we know that people have the following things. So these were like some of the statements that I actually said on class. People buy bad stocks they know nothing about because people are, people have a gambling mentality. There's a psychology of winning big from 90% drops, thinking that they can double their money in a day or so. And of course, there's insanity and humanity. So definitely we understand insanity and humanity. These are manifestations of individuals, group behaviors, and this insanity is actually a societal norm. So you should actually assume that people will be insane every now and then. That is really the right behavior, to assume that people will be insane. So there is actually more to greed than fear. That is something that I said. This comes from my lifetime of trading. So yes, I do a lot of investing these days, but I actually came from a world of trading. I realized actually how strenuous trading was. But maybe my trading background, my earlier trading background also helps define why I'm not the normal investor. Yes, I can invest, but also I can tell you the rare times of euphoria and insanity. And so today, I'm actually sharing to you my DFA-GEI trading system. So the DFA-GEI trading system, even for the most common folks, is very simple. What I mean is that there's a deeper fear. And that deeper fear is really despair. Despair is deeper than fear. It's called hopelessness. It's called anger, lack of ability to recover. When you see a company in the despair zone, most people will talk about, oh, it's never going to go make money. It's going to go bankrupt. It's going to go zero. So that is despair. It's deeper than fear. Now, fear is just uncertainty hounding its future. It could be when the market was so fearful that they weren't sure if the market will go down. Or even right now, actually just a few months ago, the market was actually fearful, thinking that what's going to happen about the Joe Biden-Harris presidency. Is Trump going to win? You can understand that October 30 was 2 days before the elections. Elections was November 3. And so people were actually generally selling off a lot of names. And that's why October 30 was one of the best times to buy, because we bought that fear. We bought companies that we believed in fundamentally and in a secular manner. That's why it's also the reason why we made like 500% up on FCell, right? Like I know that FCell was going to rise, but I couldn't ever predict that 2 would go to 10 in a month. I mean, I know that Bloom Energy at 14 was going to go up, but I thought like 14 to 19 or 20 was great. Look, it went 28. I knew that Grow Generation at 17 was great, a company, because they were increasing the hydroponic depots, revenue growth, and there was the real cannabis, even non-cannabis growers, even just the plant generation. For the Filipinos, you know about the halimam, halaman is plant in Filipino, and mom is mommy. So halamam and plantitos and plantitas. That's a plant uncle and plant auntie. So yeah, so that is a huge trend, not just in the Philippines, but also worldwide. And I felt that Grow Generation was the perfect fit for that trend. So yeah, I was recommending to buy Grow Generation. But never in my wildest dreams did I think that if I buy Grow Generation that October 30, that I'd make 100% my money in a single month. And I didn't think that buying SBE Charge Point was going to result in a 200% win in just less than a month. So I might say that I'm good, but actually, guys, I'm going to admit to you that I'm good, but I'm not too good. Like, I think that the market is too generous. And so I think the market went from fear to actually greed and probably to euphoria. So what I mean with greed is, yeah, this is typical. I'll make money and you're generally in a state of happy manner. But euphoria means like, this is more than greed. This is excitement. This is overall great feeling on the future state of things. It's the new age. And I think like right now, people are so euphoric. Yes, you could understand that this euphoria can translate also to a higher greed. So the higher greed is euphoria, but there's also one really, really rare greed, which is insanity. Insanity means that you're counting profits. You're already assuming that you can buy whatever your paper gains are providing. And these are abrupt jackpot moves in a matter of days. So like making 50% in a single day, making 70% a single day, that happened. That insane move happened in RC Moto, 6 to 20 in just like 4 days. And then like, and it was happening nonstop to most of the awesome 10X picks. Like, I'm not talking about just one name. It was happening almost like every day. There was like 100% awesome 10X pick. Tomorrow there's 110. It's like, it was just like, what the, like the market is like, what's happening to the market? So so I understand that, you know, traders talk about emotional cycles and all these things, and of course you know, there's a lot of reasons why people are doing all these these different emotions. But I was saying that when you see that the market is doing this euphoric move and insanity move, usually you want to actually be on the cautious side. At the same time, during November, of course, we were saying that we wanted to play the reopening themes. And the reopening themes, like example, I'll tell you what. So this was given a buy reco inside our inner circle. We said that Ralph Lauren was a great buy, Delta Airlines, TripAdvisor. Look, all these names at that price was gonna get bought because I used the prices on that day. So actually, whenever I give a class, the prices I give there is actually the price of that day. So all of these names were actually gotten hit. But so notice, all of these names actually rallied something like 20, 30, and 40% even, and sometimes 100%. So I was really surprised how strongly our picks are doing in a very, very short time. So the question on, do you recommend selling these names, is actually a function of sometimes, I guess, you have to also sell not because you know that the market will fall, but you are selling because you are afraid that those gains may never be that quick and that fast in the next year or so. So it's more of just it's more about trimming winners. And actually, I discussed this as well in November 12. So I was saying that, look, it looks like the market seems to be very going straight up, like vertical. And so I think that the vertical rises are are important things to be avoiding. So I'm going to share to you a few truths, no? In every 10X move, there are a few truths. Temporary drops are inevitable and unavoidable. It will take years for it to be sustainable. Even the best companies can have a gap down. And so you must accept imperfection is in your system. You can never know everything. So risk management 101 is actually when volatilities expand like these days, exposures have to contract, no matter if you hold a winner or, more importantly, if you have a loser. When uncertainties expand, exposures have to contract no matter what. So actually, the uncertainty I'm talking about is actually the uncertainty of whether you're gonna make more money or you're gonna lose some of the profits that you've already made. So so those are the things that I'm taking a look at. A little bit of a risk management on this on the current market is what I advise. I have questions, so I'm gonna answer these questions on the class. There's a question in my on my end. People are asking to me, ma'am, per request, Beyond Meat and Netflix po. Give me your insight. Okay, for Netflix and Beyond Meat, this is safe. It's not extended, so I think that you are okay. You're still okay with Netflix. Netflix is trading at about $490. At the worst part that Netflix will fall, if it falls, I'm not even sure if it falls, it can just stay steadily. So you'll notice that Netflix is at support here at about $470. So it hasn't broken that 470. Even if it does, you have another support here at 450. So Netflix is steady. I think that if it rises, you've got this resistance at 550. But I think this one is steady. So Netflix is a hold. And then there's a question on Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat right now is at 140. So I think that there is a resistance here at 160, but it's also just a hold. It's probably in this box range for now. It's not in the euphoric zone. It's more in the apathy zone, apathy to greed zone. Because some people are greedy. They're buying at 120 like we did. And yeah, so we got the 140. Just a hold for Beyond Meat and Netflix. I have more questions. Somebody's also asking me, what will we do with the IPOs and Airbnb? Are we going to wait for these to be to stabilize? Okay. Actually, this December, the market is very much also bullish because there's a huge crop of IPOs coming out, and we made a lot of deep dives on this. So usually with IPO, the problem is you don't know if you can enter it at the price that you want. So what happens if like it's up 200% or up 100%? What if it becomes something like a snowflake? So Snowflake was hotly anticipated this year. However, the problem with Snowflake was it opened up something like 100%. Even if this one continued to go higher, you could see that 200 continued to rally to 330. I think that people are paying 400% higher, too high, too soon. That I don't know if it will sustain that. So usually in companies like that, if it's too high, I would generally avoid. So I would err on the side of caution. What would happen to me is that if you're Airbnb, which is slated to go IPO at about $44 to $50, that's about 40 billion market cap. I think that you can make money, but probably just 20%, 20 to 50% at the max. So meaning if you buy at $40, maybe you can sell it at 50, but you won't be able to sell it at 100. So it's a little bit okay to buy 40, but if you're paying 50 or 60, I don't think you'll make money. You are gonna have a 50-50 chance. So you're almost like going to a casino. Everyone is just complacent and happy because Airbnb is Airbnb. It's as if they entered Bellagio, they're happy. I'm gonna take my chances in Airbnb. It's not an investor. It's more like a gambler going to Bellagio and thinking that, well, I'm in Airbnb anyway, so I'm in a very good place. So I don't think that is actually a good thing because you're also paying a market cap that you might not be willing to pay for. So those are possibilities too. Okay, what else are the questions? Yeah, so if you guys have questions, ask me. But really, I noticed that this is something that awesome 10X investors must learn. Actually, during this month, this week, this day, I have been giving pointers on how to determine selling. And it's very hard. Like some traders don't know what to do. Some investors don't understand because it's a little bit for them. What's this? This is a jargon. I don't understand this. So it's a little bit hard if you don't do technicals. But I think that in the simplest manner, I always tell them that you sell when it's euphoric. So there's no specific answer there. Example, for DocuSign, we actually felt that it was expensive, that we were willing to sell at 200. Lo and behold, DocuSign is now $230, 15% higher. So we could be wrong, right? Example, but we were correct, let's say, with Zoom Video, because like we were saying, Zoom Video, even at $470, that is a high entry already. So none of us got caught, like 470 to 490 to 550, we were actually saying sell fast because this can fall fast too. And true enough, it went to 470 to 413. Although Zoom Video right now is still trading at 14, 413, it's still very expensive. DocuSign is expensive even with good numbers. Tonight, actually, so my real question is, how much higher would the markets be? And I was saying that, okay, not all stocks are the same. For instance, Peloton, I said those partnerships of Beyonce with Peloton was actually a trigger for me to buy Peloton on the dip. So this one was different for me. I bought Peloton during that recent dip in $100. So we were buying this gap down on Peloton at $106, $100. And right now, Peloton is trading at 116. We're up about 15%. So I think like at the end of the day, agree that the market is frothy, but you'll notice that just because it's frothy doesn't mean that you can't make money. You just have to be more, I'd say you have to be more nimble. You have to be more nimble. It is not a time to place aggressive bets. And when you see the market, you'll see traders sharing snapshots. Some of the people will even make up port. Yeah, I remember doing this, the Portnoy top. I'm gonna share to you the definition of the downside risks. So around June 2020, around June 15, there was the Portnoy top. We called it the Portnoy top because a lot of retail traders were already counting all their profits. So everyone was counting how much money they've made. And it actually triggered a lot of bragging and everything. And of course, eventually the market still went up. In a market which is already in an overbought zone, any news on the front can trigger a sell-off. Nonetheless, actually during that June time, you'll notice that with speculation running rampant, it actually triggered a lot of people getting the stocks lower. So there was a lot, and we were saying actually that we were actually opining to clients that they shouldn't be scared, that we were gonna buy these companies like Sony, like video games was a safe place to be in, and there was like low volatility on some names, and of course, yeah. So I shared a lot of video games to clients during that time, as a way to actually be in a good place, and very strong companies like 3% dividend yields, even like a Hasbro, even the Ballard shares, which was trading at 13, which went to 20 eventually. GME, which was trading then at that point in time, GME, GameStop was still trading at $4.70. So even when the market was a bit toppish for other people, I still found a way to grow money, but not in any company. So I was saying that the Nasdaq can go down, but it can go up. So that was about 9.7. So people were already scared, will it fall? And I was saying, okay, the drop is 5%, but the upside is 20%. So it was still good for the bulls, mild pullback. And there was like Facebook, which was still a great place. But you could see that I was wrong with the trade desk. I thought the trade desk was expensive at 360. I was so wrong because the trade desk is now $800. And Twilio is now $300. I thought that it was expensive, but it continued to become more expensive. So right now, with the market very, very high, I'd say that the probabilities, at that point in time, I said that there was low probability for a deep tech sell-off, but there was a high probability for a normal garden variety sell-off. What we actually got was a normal garden variety sell-off. So during that time, I said, don't bet too much. But yeah, so of course, there were really bad companies like Nikola. And so those are bad names. So they fell down, definitely. But yun, so the thing about today is that I always said that there was always going to be a healthy correction. So here's the thing. This is my best guess that will happen in the market, all right? So let's take a look at your NASDAQ. Your NASDAQ today is at 12,400, right? So here at about 12,500, even if it goes back to about 13,000, more all-time highs, I really think that's putting a sell arrow today is one of the most prudent things to do. It's prudent because I could be wrong, right? Like as I said, I could be wrong. Expensive can be more expensive, but I think that it's okay to sell. And then how low can it go? Is it deep or is it shallow? In my view, the deepest that it would go is actually just 20% or 18% crash. So that means that the people who are waiting for their chance to buy great companies like Zoom Video, should actually wait 20% down. So for 13, I'm still waiting for it to go down to 350 or about 20% down. Will it happen? It's probably not going to happen, but it's okay. Netflix, will it really go down? It's probably not going to go down, but it's also okay. Maybe I'm waiting such so low prices to get in that I'll never get done. It's also okay. That's why I'm not selling everything. I'm not selling all my winners. Example, people are asking me, well, SunPower has rallied. What will you do here? Okay, 7 we bought. It's now 21, 24. What do we do? I think that SunPower at these levels are high, but I'm not sure if I should sell. So I would err on the side of caution and put that sell arrow. If it goes 21, 22, I'll be willing to sell, but I'll be willing to buy at 16. People would say, but it will never go 16. That's also true. Maybe secular winners will never sell down. So it might even just sell $20 and then go back up. So I also have to watch indicators, especially for like solar companies. Would be the electric vehicle best play, which is Tesla. No, take note what happened to Tesla: greed, euphoria, and then apathy, and then greed, and then apathy, and then greed, and then apathy. So that is the best way for a sustainable run. You go up, you go greed, insane, greed, euphoria, and then apathy, euphoria, and then apathy, euphoria, and then apathy. I want a stock to actually be more in the apathy zone, like the sleepy zone, something like this, something like this. This is where I want the sleepy zone. So you'll notice that what are the sleepy zones that I like? Spotify was a sleepy zone. This one was a sleepy zone. And then we're starting to go up. So some people say, oh, that's a simple technical chart. That's a breakout. Yeah, that's a breakout. That's an all-time high breakout. So this is what I'm confident in. Nikki is confident on Spotify. I'm a bit confident on, say, CrowdStrike, because this is a apathy zone that went up, diba? Like, you'll notice that this was a breakout zone, it was apathy zone, and then because of great numbers, great earnings, it continued higher. I could be wrong. Maybe 161 will not go to 200, but at the very least, I know that if it goes down, I have so much room to buy even at 147 or 140 or even 130. So right now, I'm not calling a sell in the market, but I'm just telling the market, telling you that it's a bit high. The market is high, and I'm not generally bearish, but I am also just cautious. People are also asking me right now, what do I do with some Aurora Cannabis? Should I sell them? Okay, for Aurora Cannabis, I think that this is easier to sell. So I have a sell arrow on Aurora Cannabis, not because I don't believe in them, but because when it's in the when it's a reversal company, like this is a company that came from this is in the despair zone. This is a despair zone, right? Like nobody really cares on Aurora Cannabis. So look, the people who got in at 140, they don't care whether Aurora Cannabis is $12 or $10, right? So this is in the zone where despair. So you could actually generally make money here. Whether we want, so I could be wrong here. Usually for this, I would buy, so we made a buy call at 6 and 7, and some people still bought at 9 and 10. However, I think for this one, I would sell it at 12 to 13, even if it goes $20. So in these cases, this is where I could be wrong. This is a despair chart. It's so despair that some people would think that it's going to go 300% in anyway, because, it came from $100. This is those gambling mentality people that they'll say that I'm going to buy it at 612. It's going to go $100 someday. I'm not sure about that, because definitely the reason why $100 went down to $6 was there was a fundamental business problem here versus, say, a Grow Generation or a True Leaf or other cannabis names, right? So there's a problem with Aurora Cannabis. And I think whenever there's a problem fundamentally, you could actually sell resistances on the way up. So depends on what cannabis names. If that cannabis name is Tilray, Aurora Cannabis, Organigram, Hexo, those are at the bottom. Those are at despair charts, despair to fear charts that you can actually sell on 25% up, 50% up, 30%, 100% up, you could sell. People are asking me, my average in Dada Nexus is $40 and it's now going down. Should I sell? Actually, guys, Dada is a buy, a very good base at the $35. So Dada is actually a company that we gave us a free Friday class pick. And Dada right now is actually, to me, a buy on dip. So this was a buy here at a breakout. So this was a very, very strong apathy that went greed mode. I don't think that this is a sell. So if your cost is 40, you want to hold on to it. Your selling pressure would be this level at 60, but this dip is actually going to be bought. You shouldn't be scared. These are very strong moves. What's going to happen here, in my view, is after a big euphoric move, notice greed, euphoria, chances are it's going to be here in the apathy zone, and then continue the greed or euphoria, and then apathy zone again. So this isn't over. So I'd hold on to this data nexus if I were you. Gravity was nice, agree, but Gravity right now could be taking profits at about $200. So right now, take note, this was a great buying area for us. So we bought at about 130, broke out 140 because of good earnings. Doing well right now, it's trading 180. However, let's put a sell at about 190 to 210. If we can hit 220, that's even better. So you'll notice that I put sell arrows already because I don't predict, I just prepare. So usually, before it even hits 200 or 220, I already have some sell at 190, at 200. Whether it gets done or not, while I'm sleeping, it just gets filled. So I just put that 1 month sell order, December 31, 2020, sell my Gravity, 190, 200, 210, 220. I could be wrong, but I could also be right. Miss Nikki, do you count bases? So base counting is something that I think Nicholas Darvas, a great trader, a dancer who made $2 million in the stock market. It's a very good book. He talked about it. He started with $10,000 and he actually ended up with $2 million. It's a really, really good book. I can't remember if my numbers are correct. I remember he had $10,000. He grew it to 2 million. I'm not sure how much top ups did he do for his own account, but definitely I'm pretty sure that he was a 10x investor. He didn't understand maybe the companies that he was buying, but definitely he was buying clear base breakouts. So counting bases is a good thing if you are a very technical trader. So this is example of a base, no? I'll explain. 25 to 50 is one base, and then a second base. So these are the rectangular 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the 5. So these are what Elliott wave people call about very extended. So that's like that's why they're saying that you should be starting to sell because it's the fifth wave. So usually that wave is the longest, or third wave or fifth wave, whatever they want to call it. The third or the fifth wave is usually the longest and the strongest, but it's also the most dangerous part. You can actually also lose money if you are the chaser. So it's actually keep an eye on these types of movements, not to be buying, but to be selling. So you should actually be already here or here or here or here, not chasing. So if you don't have it, you don't deserve to make money. You'll just find another company for yourself, diba? Or if you're gonna buy companies like fast movers, you have to be very tight stop. So that's a problem. When you're doing a buy and sleep model, which is what Awesome 10X does, the reason why we don't do momentum for you is we want you to be in this range, buying here, buying here, buying here, at the worst here. And even if you buy here, usually on the consolidation, not on the very strong move ups. So you'll notice, example, look. Look was a buy reco for us at about 10 to 11, right? So right now it's trading at 13. Look, we are not chasing these moves. We are just holding on, and notice the difference. It used to be a slope like this, then it becomes vertical from 12 to 14. This could even go $18, just like what's happening with FIAC, right? Flying Eagle. We were buying here, very slow here, 11, 12, 13. Now it's trading at 17. So I think the basic thinking of Awesome 10X is, I want to invest in a company, and I truly want to invest, not trade. I really want to buy and sleep only. That's why when we do this buy and sleep model, we really choose companies where we can just buy and hold first, and not be in the whims of the markets, overbought, oversold, whatever condition. And so usually, that's why we don't. That's why we buy companies that the market hasn't discussed yet or neglected. That's really the Awesome 10X mode. Usually, that's really what we do. Actually, it's not usually, all the time. That's what we do. So right now, I would say that Tesla is one of the leaders in the market that you should be paying attention to. Because if Tesla fell, I think that it will have huge repercussions on all of your electric vehicles and all the solar companies. So what do you think about JD and RC Moto? This is being asked to me. So I think like RC Moto right now, I like the company long term. I really think if you study it fundamentally, that even if current prices of about 18 and 12 is a resistance, maybe some people will sell at 16. I think that right now it's just in the consolidation mode. But give it about 5 years or about 6 months, actually, just next year, this one will already break out to another all-time high. If not 6 months, maybe another 12 months or so. So there are companies that I have a bias, and that bias comes from fundamentals, no? But FUV is a great company. JD is a great company. That's why for JD, take note, even if it falls, there will be a lot of buyer at $80. So not all companies are in euphoric mode. They can actually just consolidate. Euphoria can actually become an apathy zone simply by consolidating. So let me just see if there are questions on me that's given for me. Is it okay to buy your November 6th recommendations that are still in apathy phase? Okay, let's see. November 6th, Biden-Harris. The only apathy phase in this November 6th is Tattooed Chef, Veladine LiDAR. Everything else went up already. Well, Sunrun at about 56. Yes, you could buy. The rest has already gone up. So out of how many names was this? This was 21 names. So you'll notice that we have an 18 over 21 correct answer. So you can only buy perhaps either, yeah, the apathy zone like Veladine LiDAR, Tattooed Chef, Beyond Meat seems okay. But, you know, I'm hesitant because out of the 21 names that I chose, those 3 are the worst. So I'm very scared to actually be buying the worst companies that I chose in a November 6th, even if I thought about it in the best case scenario. So maybe what you should do is probably just wait for the other 18 names that I've chosen to go down and see if you can see if you can buy them. Example, if Hexo goes down, if Grow Generation goes down, if Unity goes down, if Palantir goes down, maybe it will give you a better entry, like if Gravity goes down. So mga ganon. Like that said, or you just buy 20 names like these if they go down. The apathy zone right now is just Tattooed Chef, right? And VLDR. So I'm a little bit biased. I will argue that they will go up, but the market so far has not agreed. The market hasn't agreed with me. I've been buying this, okay? Veladine LiDAR at 18, 13, it's still at 15, so it's just sleeping. But I really think this one will go up further to $25 someday. Veladine LiDAR competes with your laser. And then, of course, Tattooed Chef, in my view, is an undervalued name here at about $16, 15, 16. So even if you bought at 18 or even you buy today at 16, I think these are great companies that will go 25. That is a fundamental bias on my end. So will you buy it? Well, I won't buy it. I already have it. I have it already. So I'm not just selling it. I'm just holding it. So I'm telling you the companies that I have that haven't moved yet. Tattooed Chef haven't moved yet. Veladine LiDAR hasn't moved yet. This one hasn't moved yet. Rewalk Robotics, I think I'm okay. 124 is steady. These levels are just in the apathy zone. I think I'm gonna sell 160, 180, $2, 250. So these are some of the apathy awesome 10X companies that I think will go up. So these are apathy names like OAC. I think this one can go up. Yes, 1020 to 1080 would still be okay to buy that. Loc is a little bit high right now. So, but if this falls, then yes, I would be okay with it. Rush is already 12, so very high already. But yeah, I've been buying this also at 1150 to 11. But if it falls, yes, I'll give a buy reco. So actually, right now, I guess I have very few buys, very few opportunities, and because I have very few opportunities to buy, that is one reason also why I am thinking that today's title is Stories About Selling. Stories about selling because we can never predict the top, but I want you to actually be cautious and err on the side of caution. Okay? Thank you very much. And that ends today's class. I hope you learned.